Episode 29.
Hey Evan, I'm just drinking my vino, and I'm making that sound. It's apparently Crystal Krosno from Poland.
There you go. And I've actually seen people do that, and they used, like performers and stuff in the 80s.
Yeah.
I've never actually seen anyone do it physically, so I'm very impressed. It's actually quite
It works.
Yeah.
Hey, question for you.
Yes.
Did you want to get rich quick?
Do I? Well, of course. What does it involve? Wine glasses?
No,
Okay.
but maybe social media.
Yeah. Let's get rich quick. Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Welcome to Seeking Focus, a podcast that provides photographers and videographers with a place to critically compare technology, share ideas, and enhance their skills.
I don't know, mate. We started recording before, but the SD card got full, so we had to stop and redo it again. So hey,
We're back.
We're back.
Take two.
We gotta do this more often, man.
We do. Like drinking vino, making weird noises on your glass.
Yeah, and recording ourselves in podcasts, man, because that's when the best content comes out.
It does. And today's episode is actually the most interesting example of amazing content. What is it today?
Let's talk about social media. Let's social media. Well, you know what? You hate it, you love it, but you know what? I think you need to have social media for any business.
Well, you do.
And I think that's a max, you know, like that's almost a point where, you know, if you're not out there, people can't see you, people can't find you, and, you know, but, you know, your point of view is totally different than my point of view, though. So tell me.
Look, I agree with you 100%.
Well, let's agree to disagree then.
Look, social media is a great tool. Unfortunately, the majority of social media out there is a piece of crap.
Is it fake or is it real?
Between fake crap and more crap, there's very little out there that actually, you know, is worthwhile.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the biggest problems with social media is people just produce shit. And that's the bottom line.
You got to go there because the algorithm, the way it works, right, is you got to put something out almost daily you know, every 2 days to be able to be seen. Do you know what I mean?
But the problem is it's forcing you to... We're talking about social media platforms here, just in case people are wondering what the algorithm means.
Well, yeah.
Because, like, for example, Instagram, if you want to rate highly on it, you need to post regularly.
Yep.
I don't post regularly. I don't give a crap about Instagram, which means you'll never find anything that I do. You, on the other hand, post a little bit more regularly than I do, and your stuff pops up more regularly, obviously.
Yeah, I still don't like it as well.
Yeah.
Like, social media is such a hard thing for me.
But people post pointless items all the time just so they can continue providing some content and get a higher rating.
Yeah.
They're not actually producing quality, and that's the bottom line. Social media, for me, has been destroyed by people posting crap.
Yeah.
You know, everywhere you look in social media, majority of it is just, look, I'm going to use a rude word again, shit. It's just shit.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
Look, there is a couple of accounts that I started following, and their quality of work is just phenomenal. Like, it's through the roof, you know what I mean?
But
I'm looking at myself.
Oh,
there is, 100%. Yeah. Saying that, though, you know, like, you got to be out there to be able to, you know, I've got two accounts. So I've got Melbourne Videographer, and I've got One by One Media as a second account. So that's my primary account. Now, on Melbourne Videographer, I post a lot of, you know, sort of BTS, so behind the scenes, you know,
and
my
it's interesting stuff.
Yeah, it is interesting, you know. And it's funny because through that Melbourne Videographer account, I actually get a lot more inquiries for work than my One by One Media. Because why? Because when people search, they search for, say, Melbourne Videographer or video production or whatever else, right? So my account with less followers actually gets a lot more work coming through, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But you're posting more on that as well.
Yeah, I think I'm a bit of both. I try to, you know, I mean, I'm not huge, you know. I mean, I've got 1,000 something people following me on, you know, One by One Media, and then I only got like 400 or 500 people following me on, you know, on Melbourne Videographer. But yeah, it's almost to a point where it's like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. You know what I mean? Because you know, like, you sit there and, you know, a lot of people are posting crap, like, you know, how wonderful everything is and how fantastic the life is being a videographer. And, you know, what they don't tell you behind the scenes is, you know, Like you were saying,
It's
you
not
don't,
what they
you
make it
don't
out.
yeah, well, that's exactly right. You know what I mean? So, but at the end of the day, people want to be happy. Yeah, so people post shit there that's make other people happy, and I get a bit depressed by it, to be honest with you, because I jump onto it and I can see oh yeah, this person's working with this firm or client or brand or whatever else, and you kind of think to yourself, why can't I get this sort of
That's how I feel when I see your work. 'Cause I feel like
shut up.
No, but look, we'll take a step back, and the reason this episode's come about was because, as I mentioned in the previous episode, I'm working in a different role now, so I'm still doing videography and photography, but not to the extreme that I normally would. So I'm not being exposed to the countless amounts of social media. I did open up my social media the other day, just have a quick look around, and everything I saw was just complete shit. It was just, the first thing I saw was this woman who's looking at the camera, and she spins around just her head, and she looks back at the camera, and that was the whole clip.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking at this thinking, what did I just miss? There's something obviously that I'm missing.
Yeah.
So I played it again, and nothing happened. And I was just like, I've just wasted 30 seconds of my life. It was pointless. And
was she trying to sell something, or was she just basically
it was almost like someone who just grabbed their phone and they didn't know what they were doing, and they're just pressing buttons.
But it comes down to that algorithm where you have to post some crap to be able to be seen or whatever else. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it's so frustrating
but it's because of that algorithm that we're getting this level of crap coming out. It's just the fountain of shit.
Yeah.
And then you've got the other ones where they're the get quick schemes, get rich quick schemes, as you put it earlier. There was one particular video which I sent you, and I couldn't stop laughing about it because it was just so fucking stupid. And I can't believe I just said the F word. I've never said that before. Apologies to people who are offended.
Never.
Not on a microphone before, anyway. Yeah. But I just found it so stupid. There was this woman who looked like a complete drop kick, and she looked like she was doing crack cocaine or something. She was just like and she was trying to promote a business that basically teaches you how to be a photographer or a videographer, or in this particular case it was actually a videographer, I remember. And she's like, oh, with this, look at me, I'm a professional now, I can do, and she's really hyperactive, so you're like, it almost drags you in, because you're like, oh, well, yeah.
Well, it's got to suck you in, because you got to be, like, you got to have that sort of excitement and whatever else,
which I understand, right? But then she starts talking about what she's learned and how she's a professional videographer now, and her clients, she dazzles her clients, and as she's talking, she's holding her video camera in her hand, which happens to be a podcasting camera that has a fixed lens on it, and she's telling everyone how she goes to her clients with her camera, which she's holding in her hand, and she's the clients are going crazy over her, and they can't get enough of her, and her business has gone through the roof, and you're just sitting there looking at this person thinking, what a load of crap.
Yeah.
That camera, if I showed up to a client holding that camera in my hand, I'd be a laughing stock.
Yeah.
She's waving it around like it's something special. And unfortunately, that's the message that's getting across to people who don't have the faintest idea what they're talking about, or people are starting off in the industry and they're like, oh, look, I want to be like this woman with this, $200 camera, and I'm going to be a professional videographer and produce stuff.
Well, there's no point of buying a $10,000 camera, because you can get the same thing with a
podcast camera with a fixed lens. You could do everything with that. But it was just lies. So they're promoting a product to people who do not understand, and it was just lies. So the first advertisement.
Was she actually selling? Sorry, was she actually selling something, or was she just
talking about the course? She was promoting the course, which obviously is an paid advertisement.
Yeah.
So that was an advertisement which was lies. The first one was completely pointless, and then the behind the scenes videos of the shots and stuff. Right now, this is my pet peeve: when you look at something and everything in the video or photo has been staged just to get that image across that they're professionals. Look at us. And this is actually something that I've seen numerous times, and I keep laughing about it. And when I first showed you, you looked at me and went, "I don't understand." I'm an audio person. Audio is really, really important to me. Right? And I keep pointing this out to you, and you just look at me like, "What?"
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's like I don't give a crap about this. But they're setting up the shot to try and make themselves look like they're behind the camera, and they've got this ginormous camera, and they're doing an interview with someone. And there's the microphone, which is behind the client, pointing at the back of their head. It's like, that's not how you do audio.
Yeah.
Right? It's staged so badly that you look at the picture and you go, this would not actually work as a video. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So every time I look at social media, it's pointless. It's lies. It's more lies. It's staged. And there's very, very few videos that you look at and go, hey, that's really amazing. There are a couple out there, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
right? There's
100%.
people who put a lot of effort into their work. There's a lot of people who post on YouTube and they basically produce really high quality content and informative content.
Yeah.
Right? And this is what video is meant to be about. It's about getting a message across.
Yeah.
Showing me your face and spinning around in a circle is not getting anything across. It's just making me think you're an idiot.
Yeah.
A person who seems like this, they've done a couple of lines of crack cocaine. Not crack cocaine, speed or cocaine. I think you can do a couple of lines of crack cocaine.
We do not endorse any of that stuff.
I think you actually smoke crack cocaine. Not that I've ever tried, so I don't know. There you go. That's a prime example. Having a person who seems like they're on drugs telling you about how good this training course is, and when they're waving a camera around that is not actually
Look, at the end of the day, yeah, it is a lot of crap because, I mean, a lot of people get into this from a point of, love for creating something interesting. You know what I mean?
There's something about creating something that is amazing and captivating, and then there's another thing where you're just captivating a piece of crap.
Well, obviously she was selling something, so she was selling something, obviously. So therefore, the client of hers, he gave her thousands of dollars or whatever else, and then she just had to come up with some crap to be able to just say, hey, I've done it. You know what I mean? But look, like at the end of the day, I think if you are getting into this sort of industry, is you have to be able to understand that there's no point. Like, obviously you start off very small
and don't get sucked in.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing too, because people think that you're going to make all this money and everything else, and and I mean, it's a very up and down industry in a way for myself. Like sometimes I was telling you off air, like I've chased invoices 45 days after I did the freaking shoot. You know what I mean? It's like, why can't people pay me?
If you had done that social media course from that guy, they would have paid you before you even did the shoot.
Yeah, 100%.
Because you had the camera.
Yeah, but yeah, social media. Look, it's got its benefits and it's got negatives. You know what I mean? I think as a business, you got to be out there and coming across. I mean, we do this. I've got one of my clients is a restaurant, and I go there every 2 weeks and I shoot their content. I give them 50, 100 photos or whatever else. Give them to social media sort of reels, and look, they look professional, they look great, the client is happy. But look, at the end of the day, is you're trying to promote the product that you're selling or whatever else in a professional kind of way, where these people, they just basically just get out there and just smash whatever they want to smash. You know what I mean? Yeah, and that's the whole point of the social media. It's wrong in that sort of sense. Yet it's what we're trying to do is totally different way. I guess I don't know. What do you want to call it?
I'm just I just don't understand it. I really don't.
Yeah.
And for me, the type of productions I do have meaning. They capture, there's essence. You go into it and you got to design it. You got to say, okay, what's the point? What are we trying to achieve here?
Yeah.
What is the best way of achieving it? How will we get that message across?
Yep.
Having someone spinning around in front of the camera doesn't achieve that. Having someone lying about how good your product is whilst they're waving around something that's not your product or something that won't achieve what you're saying you can achieve.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Why are not my models that I'm taking photos for and family members wearing bikinis with big boobs and in provocative positions? Why can't that be me? Because that's what social media tells me that all my models should look like.
Look, it's frustrating, and I totally agree with you in a sense. As a business, though, you have to be in it to be able to be sort
realistic.
of recognized.
Having I do social media posts where I'm showing people what I'm doing, so that people are aware that, oh look, this is what Evan does. He's capable of doing that. Right? It's not staged. There's no microphone behind the person, so that when they talk, you can't actually hear them. A microphone just for people who don't understand audio. A microphone has to be in front of you. It has to be pointing towards you. It has to be pointing towards your mouth and your chest, predominantly your chest. It picks up the sound. It's not behind you. It's not meant to be picking up your farts. Right? If you're gonna stage something, do it right. You know, I'm sorry. Social media. And
Look, sometimes I must say, like if I go to a client site and I try to obviously like fly drone or whatever else, I don't get chance to obviously, film myself BTS, behind the scenes stuff and whatever else. So sometimes I just get the drone out and obviously try to stage or whatever else. But yes, I do try to make it believable. You know what I mean?
But you're basing it on what you're actually doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Not having a microphone half a meter behind the person.
Well, yeah.
I'm sorry. That's from an audio perspective. Most people won't understand.
You're very sensitive about audio, man.
I am pissed off about when people lie about audio. Audio is, you have to do it right or it's not worth doing.
The audio king.
Well, and for the point, if you're actually producing a video, audio is substantially one of the most important aspects of a good video.
I agree. Yeah.
Right? If you don't have good audio but you have a great video, people won't watch it. You can have a bad video but have good audio, people will watch it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's one of the truths.
I agree. What in your view, what's what are the benefits of having that sort of account? I mean, look, obviously, I can't say this. So when people see what you saw, they look at it differently. You're the audio person, right? So therefore,
people don't understand. So
yeah, I know, but they're still seeing a microphone, they're still seeing a camera, they're still seeing whatever else they want to see. So therefore, the message is still out there, conveyed to them, right?
Yeah.
Where you look at it, being an audio professional, and obviously knowing a lot more than an average Joe Blow, you kind of look at it a different way. You know what I mean? But
I do. But the fundamentals is these people are meant to be teaching. Right, that was what the course was about. That was teaching how to be a videographer. If you're going to be teaching someone how to be a videographer, do it properly.
Yeah.
Right. I seriously, I'm still wondering where they found this woman and how many lines they gave her before she actually did the advertisement. It was just ridiculous.
All right. Well, with social media though, what do you normally look for? Like, as in, you obviously have some sort of...
I do. Look, I'll give you an example of something that happened to me actually probably about 2 hours before I got here.
Okay.
I was driving along and I got a phone call from a number that I did not know. I answer all calls, and there was a person on the phone that said... It was weird because there was a bit of a pause and I thought, oh, here we go. It's going to be one of those telemarketers.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
Right.
And the person said to me, I want to do some video. Are you Pixel Life? And I thought, oh, cool. It's not a telemarketer, not someone who's trying to get my credit card details. I'm like, yeah, sure I am. I actually gave it my full attention as opposed to ready to hang up.
Down to your stuff.
Yeah, and I said, so what is it that you want to achieve? He goes, I want reels. I want 6 reels. And I thought, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Reels means social media, means places like TikTok. And I thought in the back of my head, this is not going to end well. And I said, okay, cool. I go, because everyone's a potential client and everyone needs some direction. I said,
well, you got to give them attention.
Okay, so what are the 6 reels going to be about? They're going to be about me. Sorry, I'm putting on an accent.
Was it that accent or was it someone else?
I just put accents on. You'll notice it changes. It sounds like it's from 4 different countries as I'm talking. And I said to him, well, what specifically about you? Because for me to do a production, there has to be a point. What's the message we're trying to get across? Otherwise, it's just as crap as someone's head spinning
that's
around.
Right. Yeah.
Right? And he said, yeah, me. I want reels of me. I said, okay, reels of you doing what? What is the purpose? Are you selling something? Are you promoting something? He goes, no, just reels of me. I said, so what would you like me to do? Like, what would you like?
You know what I would say? I would say, what's your budget?
I should have said that, but I didn't. Use because scary words.
If his budget is like $10,000, I'll be like, yeah,
I'll do reels
mate,
of you
I don't give a
like.
shit, mate. Whatever you want me to film, mate, I'll just stick a camera in your face and you do your bits, mate. But you know what I'm saying?
Unfortunately, money's not the key point of why I do what I do. It helps, but and he just couldn't explain to me what he wanted to do. I'm like, look, I'm happy to do this for you. I'm not saying I can't do it. I'm not saying I'm not going to do it, but I need to know what you're actually trying to achieve. What do you want from this production, right?
Yeah.
There's no point in me coming there, sticking a camera in your face and you doing gargling noises or spinning around in a circle, and then I give you the video and you go, oh, this is shit. I need to know, you know? And he couldn't answer it. I said, look, buddy, I go, let's close the phone now. I want you to go away, think about what you want, what the key messages are. You know, what do you want people to see? What are you trying to explain to them? Write it in an email, send it to me, and I'll quote you on it. I said, because at the moment you're saying you want 6 reels, or what are the reels of? You parachuting, you dancing, you looking at the camera and not speaking?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Unfortunately, a lot of clients that ring me as well, they want something on social media, but they don't know what they want. You know what I mean?
But
So
it's usually
the
tied
client-
into something. Like, are they promoting their business?
Yeah.
Are they
So
promoting...
I'll give you an example. So I've got this client, like I was saying, you know, so every 2 weeks I go there and do, you know, photography and video for them, right? Every single time I rock up, right? Number one, they're not ready, right? So I say, all right, cool, I'll be there 10 to 12 noon, 2 hours, right? I get there 10 o'clock in the morning, and I go, okay, cool, let's start. And it's a restaurant, yeah, so the chef starts cooking or whatever else. The first meal doesn't come out till about 10:30.
They don't have to
So I've
stay
just
on.
wasted half an hour of my time.
Yep.
Now, I've been told by, obviously, the owner saying, hey, can you just film the restaurant? Sure, no worries. So what do I film? I film the tables, and then obviously the decor of the round, you know,
The atmosphere.
making coffees and whatever else, atmosphere and whatever else. But then they turn around to me, okay, so we just want food. So why the hell did I just turn up half an hour beforehand
No, there's no food.
to twiddle my thumbs and piss fart around, and, you know, and there's no food, you know what I mean? So half of the clients, they don't understand what they want. Half of them don't understand what's involved, what they want. And others, you know, like, you know, I started quoting about a year ago now, or 8 months ago, I started quoting separately for editing, you know, because previously it was all part of, you know, a quote, you know what I mean, just the overall thing. But now I say, yep, 2 hours on site, this is how much it's going to be, and 2 hours of editing, this is how much it's going to be. If you don't like it, you know what? All these raw videos and whatever else, you know what? I really don't care. Personally, like from my own point of view, I really don't care. I can't use it for anywhere else. This is all your stuff. If you want raws in log and whatever else, mate, have it and edit it yourself. No stress at all, mate. You know what I mean? Care factor, 0. You pay me for my time. Here's the product. And a lot of people say, you know, oh, don't give raws and this and that and whatever else. You know what? Personally, I really don't care. You know what I mean? I can't do anything.
It's a personal thing.
Yeah. So your business allows it.
If you're recording something with a end image in mind, and you know how you wanted it to look, and you're inputting your creativity into it, and you know you had been paid and your name was going to be attached to something, then yes, I can understand that, because you don't want someone to go off, get your footage, create some utter crap of a person spinning around in a circle, and then have your name at the end of it, because that is not your production. That is your name being dragged through the mud. But if you're getting paid to do just raw production, nothing really creative and stuff, then so be it.
I really don't. Yeah. Personally, I don't really care.
I do the same thing, except I do charge the person the same amount as what it costs to get it edited as well. I'm just like,
well, I do charge them extra fee for my time to upload it, and, you know, to obviously, you know, do whatever needs to be done with it, other than editing. But, you know, like, it might be just an hour rather than 2 or 3 hours of editing, you know what I mean? So, whatever. But look, you know, like I said, you know, not 80% of clients that ring me up, they've got no idea what they want. You know, they might send me a message saying, all right, cool, we want social media, whatever, this, that, whatever. And I go, okay. So if I rock up there with a camera, and at the end of the day, I'm just a video guy. So I just set up a camera, set up my lights, set up my microphones. What do you want to talk about? Oh, yeah, we'll just figure out on the thing. I had a client come in last week to me, and they go, we want to just ask the question. What did he say? I want a testimonial video from my client. Okay, sure, no worries, man. I just want to ask them one question. I go, okay, so normally I set up time takes me about 25, half an hour to set up everything, lights and everything else. And if you're going to ask them one question, that the answer is going to be 1, maybe 2 minutes, because that's how long he wants the video for. Well, how does that going to work, mate? You know what I mean? Like, you're paying me for a minimum of 2 to 4 hours. You know what I mean? And you're going to ask them one question. I said, mate, you got to ask multiple questions. Oh, yeah. We'll figure something out. Well, they've got no fucking idea what they're talking about.
Well, it's interesting you should say that, because I had a client who I did 5 productions for at 5 different locations. They're an international company, and they would send me to people's houses to get a testimonial done. And I'd say to them, okay, I'm going to go there. Do they know what they're talking about? Yeah, they're going to talk about the product. Okay, fair enough. I'd rock up.
What's the product?
Yeah, I won't go there because
Fair enough.
It relates to something that starts with an S and finishes with a G.
Oh, okay.
And
all right, continue.
it's a popular name, and you see it on most televisions and mobile phones. Anyway, so I would go there and I'd say, okay, so we're doing a testimonial about the product, and the person would look at me and go, well, what am I meant to say? And I'm like, well, haven't they spoken to you about it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
All right, so,
and that's the thing, the social media aspect comes into place because we tried obviously the right job and the right thing, but at the end of the day, it's the client, that what they want. So if that client,
if the client doesn't know what they want,
yeah, well, but I'm just saying, that girl on the video that's spinning around, that she's high on, speed and cocaine, whatever she's on, she might be spinning around, and the client said, yeah, you just need to do this, and that you just do it. You know what I mean? But the client doesn't understand what the frick they're talking about. You know what I mean? So, it's, I don't know. It's I don't know. It's a bad thing and a good thing at the same time. Because I try to be on social media just to be out there, just to show other people what I can do. You know what I mean? And I get hopefully a bit of work out of that. You know what I mean? But like personally, social media for me is none of my family, none of my personal life, nothing to do with anything.
Nothing of you spinning in front of the camera?
No, I don't dance on the camera. I don't do anything. You know what I mean? Like my personal life is my personal life. You know what I mean? So anything on social media from my end, you won't see any of my kids. You won't see any of my dogs. You won't see any of my, houses or whatever else, that I live in or whatever else. And, even holidays, and the wife does all that shit, you know what I mean? But I don't, you know what I mean? So to me, social media is purely business, nothing else.
But just to finish off my discussion about the that product, I'll just kick the microphone, kick it a few more times. So regarding that, so I'd go to the client's house, I'd say, are you ready to do the testimonial? They're like, yeah. And I said, so, okay, when I count to 3, give them the spiel. And the camera would start rolling, and they'd be like, just looking at me blankly, and I'm like, they didn't tell you what to say, right? They didn't tell you what you need to talk about. And they're looking at me like blankly, no. Because the company didn't understand that social media reels actually need to have a point. They need structure.
That's right.
If you're going to achieve something, you need to have a plan. So the clients would be asked to do this. They didn't know what they had to do. No one told them what they had to do. So I'd have to sit there and work out a plan with them and talk to them all. Okay, so, you're doing a testimonial. You need to talk about what you found good about this product, right? What was it that you found good? The service was good. I'm like, okay, great. Okay, so you can talk about the service. How was the installation process? Oh, yeah, it was really good. They were really quick. I said, okay, so there's something else you can talk about. How was the product? Oh, it's been sensational. Okay, so you got the stuff that you can talk about. So you can say that, you found them online. They came to your house. They did something, blah, blah. And I'd work together with them to develop the, thing. And I'd provide them with a social media clip that ran for like 20 seconds. And it was really good because it just basically promoted their company. It said how good they were, and it was truthful because the clients actually, I didn't force them to say things that they, like the product's crap, but they were saying, oh, it's fantastic. And I gave it to the clients, and I did that 5 times, and they never called me back. And I rang them up one day and I said, is everything okay? Because I haven't heard from you guys for a while. And they said, yeah, that's not a problem. And I said, did you want any more videos done? They said, no, we've brought on someone else. And I said, that's cool, okay, because, don't have to stick with me. There's no contract. And I said, is there a reason why, just so I can understand? They said, we just felt that you spent too long with the client and you charge us too much. Yeah. And I'm like, but you do understand that the reason I was there for so long was because I was actually explaining to the client what they needed to speak about, figuring out what was good and what wasn't good, what would be beneficial for the video. And they're like, oh, yeah, but we didn't want that. Okay, cool, no worries, So anyway, I kept tabs on their social media account. And so they posted up all the ones that we did. And then they obviously hired someone else. And they started posting up videos that actually had nothing. There was a person just smiling at the camera going, oh, it's really good. What was really good? What was, so there was nothing that was actually pushing the product or saying what the, was different about it. And they produced probably about 7 of these videos, right, and which were absolutely pointless because they didn't promote the product in any way. And then probably about 3.5 to 4 months later, I got a phone call from the company saying, "Hey, we need you to do a video." And I said, "Yeah, not a problem." I said, "Just curious, you were using someone else."
That's right, yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, because the people doing the actual videos weren't getting the customers to say anything, and it was kind of pointless." So I went, "So now you understand why I was taking the time."
Yeah.
But for the most part, people don't really understand what social media is about, and they just think everyone should be doing social media. And look, if you want to do social media posts that are pointless, and that's fine, that's your choice, that's it's your 5 cents. You don't need to hire an expensive camera, you don't need a camera person. Get your mobile phone, record yourself with your mobile phone. That is sufficient. That's what social media is meant to be about. You don't need to have me showing up with an 8K camera,
well, that's the thing, isn't it? Like, we use cameras that are, $10,000 plus, whatever else, you know what I mean? And almost to a point where it's almost a waste to use those cameras on those sort of clips where a phone can just sort of shoot.
And look, don't get me wrong, phones have come a long way.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, my Samsung phone, which starts with an S and finishes with a G. Did I just say that?
No, you did not.
Basically, what ended up happening was that was probably about 2 years old now. It used to shoot in 8K. I mean, I've destroyed the phone now, but it was capable of shooting in 8K. Like, granted, not 8K to what my Canon does, but it was still 8K. So you could crop in. It was actually a pretty decent picture. So you can get away with using just your mobile phone to do stuff like that.
It's all about the content, though, isn't it?
The content is the most important,
and you got to sort of think about what the end person is going to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So where you got your pointless videos of people turning around and whatever else, and like I look at this stuff and I just sort of look at it and I go, "Nah, mate, I'm not even going to look past 2-second mark." You know what I mean? I just scroll, keep scrolling.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, people think that they need to keep posting and posting and posting, but the thing is, what you've got to realize is a bad post can actually cause more damage to your brand than benefit. And I know you want to stick to these algorithms where, you got to post 50,000 pieces of content every day just so you can keep it to the highest level. But the reality behind it is, people who really are looking for your service, I don't think that's going to help them. In fact, it's probably it's going to be detrimental if you're not posting.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Now, one thing that I actually was meaning to ask you about earlier on, and this is something that pops up all the time on social media, once again, I sort of question it. Unpacking videos. What do you think of unpacking? And so, just for clarifying, what unpacking videos is, someone buys themselves a new product and they film.
A new camera or whatever,
some of these are more elaborate than others, but they buy something and they film themselves opening the box and pulling it out and the styrofoam, and then they show you the product. It's like, what do you think of those? I mean, does that
look, personally, I don't watch them. Yeah. I just think it's a lot of crap because, I mean, look, the packaging, right? It's like Apple, for instance, have fantastic packaging. You know what I mean? Like all of the DJI these days have quite good packaging as well. So packaging, it came a long way in that sort of sense. There's a lot of people that watch this sort of stuff. Personally, I don't. I really don't care. But look, I can see why they do it, because you want to see what's inside the box and how it's all packaged up and whatever else. But like, personally, care factor 0. You know what I mean? It's obviously you don't watch it as well. You do watch it.
Oh, no. There's been a couple which, look, there's some that have been produced so well with audio added in there, like the sound of ripping tape and stuff. So someone's put a lot of effort into it. Yeah. And I mean, I don't really give a shit about the actual content of what's in the box and stuff like that, but the effort they've gone through to produce this is actually, Quentin Tarantino probably couldn't have done it as well. It's just so well thought out. The audio is amazing. It's matched up. It's color graded. They've thought about everything. And just as an art piece, it's interesting to watch. I couldn't give a rat's about what's in the box. It's just the way it's been put together. That's really good. But there's some other videos out there. It's like, please, God, shoot me now. Please.
It all comes down to, I guess, individual person. Number one, what you want to see, and number two is, it's, I don't know. Look, to me, it's pointless. But some people obviously find it exciting, so I really don't care. You got to make the algorithm happening.
I'm going to produce an unpacking video for Small Rig. here it shows up in a big plastic Australia Post bag. I tear the plastic bag open. It's like virtually impossible to open.
And don't forget to blank out your address and all this shit.
Yeah, definitely. I've got to use scissors to cut through this plastic bag because it's so thick and heavy and stuff. And inside it, there's this massive box, and I pull the box out, and it's got like gaffer tape all over it. And I cut the gaffer tape open, and it's like, it's taken me about 30 seconds to get through the gaffer.
I think we just lost listeners because of the talking shit.
No, that's true. When was the last time you bought a small rig product for your rig? You don't have rigs, do you?
Yeah, no, I do have few, but no.
Okay, so this is the new thing. So small rig will have the Australia Post bag, this box on the inside. When you open the box, there'll be another box on the inside, which will actually be the product box. Once you open that product box, there'll be a plastic bag in there, which will then basically have all the components, which are individually wrapped in a plastic bag and individually wrapped in foam. And you take those out, and by the time you're finished, there's like a little rosette screw or something like that, with an Allen key, I might add. There's always an Allen key in there. Yeah. And you've got something like 7 boxes that have come in the package, 6 pieces of plastic, and you're just looking at it for this little $2 thing, and you're just like, there's something very wrong. That would actually be like a mini series, an unpacking mini series you could do for social media.
Just got to make sure you do it cinematically.
Yeah, and the black lines at the top and the bottom, So, but anyway, so look, social media is a great tool if it's used properly.
100%, man.
Don't waste people's time. Don't waste your time. Don't be detrimental to your product by producing crap. Put some effort into it, and let's change the tide of crap that's out there. Yeah. And sorry, I've got to ask. There's a couple of platforms out there, but the one that I have an account for, but I've never gone onto it because I'm too horrified to have a look. TikTok. Do you have an account on TikTok?
I do.
Do you go there regularly?
No, I tried to employ my daughter to help me with it, to manage it. And I actually said to her, I said, I'm happy to pay you. That's not a problem because, she's 15, 16 years old and they're all over that sort of shit. And then I actually uploaded, to my Google Drive so she has access to, my, behind the scenes, content and whatever else. And how many reels did I see? 0. Yeah. So it's like, you're into it, but these days you just want to scroll. That's all you want to do. There's nothing else but scrolling, what I mean?
It's just wasting time.
Funny times, like your funny dogs, funny cats, funny ducks.
But funny cats and funny dogs have a point. It's funny. It makes you laugh. Yeah. But there is so much content out there that makes you cringe. And maybe that's an effect that they're trying to go for, the cringe videos. And it's just, to me, it makes no sense.
I don't know, man. Look, personally, I think, like I said, I use social media for more business-related things. So if I can create a new product or whatever else I can show to a client, then I'll just pop that on. I mean, a lot of my clients are other agencies or other videographers because, like FPV, for instance, is not a, easy to get to or easy to do. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So the guys just, use me to be able to fly through an office or, whatever else. But, it's somewhere that you can go out there and show what you can do rather than just put crap on. So, like I said, my thing is just business, purely business, nothing else. I don't know about, you obviously pretty much the same, right?
I'm exactly the same. And I try and avoid posting anything, to be quite honest with you. Yeah. But you do need to have a presence. So if you are going to do it, actually make sure it's quality based. We are probably running a little bit over time on this episode.
Yeah, it's actually quite good, but we're on 30 odd minutes.
It's longer than I expected on this one. But I'm going to put it out there. Is anyone out there using social media? What do they think of it? Does anyone want to contribute any comments?
What sells? That's what I want to know, mate, because I want to get rich, baby.
You want to get rich quick and, my get quick, fast sort of routine, and you're this camera that doesn't work properly, but I'm going to sell it.
Yeah, bruh. Yeah, bruh.
A horse race spokesperson.
Yeah, quick.
Yeah.
Get rich quick.
But yeah, like that social media post with that woman who was from crack cocaine actually damaged their reputation in my eyes.
Oh, look, I didn't even know who that was, so I didn't even look at that, so I just kept on.
But you saw the video,
I saw it because you sent it to me.
But it was
I was just like, what the hell is this crap?
Exactly. What the hell is this crap was your first reaction.
And I just didn't even look at it. So therefore, I hope it wasn't Sony or obviously Canon.
It's all Sony. I think Sony is crap.
That's nice. It's probably Black Magic.
Actually, I was going to say, and I shouldn't probably bring this up, what mortified me about a year ago was when Black Magic introduced the ability for their camera to be tilted 90 degrees and take video that was in portrait as opposed to landscape. And that was like the most horrific moment of my life when I realized that Blackmagic was becoming a social media camera.
Yeah.
I was like, no! I was whimpering for like weeks on end. But the uptake on it from the people who use Blackmagic was actually quite substantial. And look, I don't normally shoot in portrait. I'll try and avoid that at all costs. I'll shoot in 8K or 6K landscaping and crop
it, yeah.
You know, because that's just naturally the way I shoot. And I'm probably a little bit behind the times in that.
That's because you're old.
I am. I'm geriatric. But, you know, I just can't bring myself to do portrait stuff. There is a market for it, obviously. But that was actually a turning point for me where I started realizing how much social media was impacting everything around us. Anyway, tell us what you think.
I totally agree. Look, it would be good to hear, you know, if anyone can sort of, you know, comment on social media.
What works, what doesn't work.
Yeah.
Do you agree with us? Don't you agree with us? Do you think social media is crap like I do?
I think it's part of those things where you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. You know what I mean? If you're in it and if you're not in it, sort of thing. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. You know, we're part of that sort of, you know, world, and that's the thing we've got to sort of do. But, you know.
And don't let our negativity stop you from posting cat videos because they're funny.
Yeah, they're quite funny.
Especially dog ones. I like dog ones.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening, guys.
Take care.
And I'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.